Why is rent so expensive?
Hey, so everyone has lost their mind. Apartment hunting, housing market, renting, whatever it is, you've absolutely lost your mind.
Can we have an honest conversation? What the hell is really going on right now?
As we step into the current economic landscape, it's hard to ignore the stark reality unfolding around us. Inflation is soaring, job security is dwindling, and essential goods are becoming increasingly unaffordable. With rising interest rates and stagnant wages, many are left grappling with uncertainty.
I'm just curious if anybody else has noticed the trend of places closing down. A gas station that is close to where I live, it's a busy area. Their last day was Saturday. I saw that Party America in my town is shutting down. Quite a few restaurants have closed down recently. It's a trend, not a good trend. And I'm just curious, I'm in Southeast Alabama. Has anybody else noticed this throughout the U.S. anywhere else? It's sad and worrisome.
Why is rent so expensive? I remember 9 years ago, we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment for $500 or $550 a month. And now a 2-bedroom apartment would cost you way over $1,000. A 3-bedroom over $2,000. And not even that nice of an apartment. And it's they say you got to make 2 times the rent to even be able to get the place. A lot of people don't make that. I know that a lot of people are having to have roommates or live with family just to survive. How can that even be legal? It's crazy, man. Just let people be able to live.
Hey, so everyone has lost their mind. Apartment hunting, housing market, renting, whatever it is, you've absolutely lost your mind. So as I sit here apartment hunting here in Los Angeles, would you believe that I came across this place, $2,500 a month, okay, 1 bedroom, no utilities included, you have to pay for your parking, bare bones, 3 times the rent, $650 minimum credit, okay? I scroll down to the bottom and I see that in order for you to access your unit that you are paying $2,500 for, okay, you must subscribe to a monthly membership to use your key fob. If you don't, you will not be able to access your unit that you pay $2,500 for. What are we doing? I know why people are burning down warehouses, and I know why people are running up on CEOs and sending them back to their maker. People are tired, and it is only going to get worse. This is quite literally something that the average American will not just work their way out of. They will not skip a latte out of. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? What are we doing?
Can we have an honest conversation? What the hell is really going on right now? I am at a point in my life, I'm 32 going on 33 this year. I'm at a point where I have my career. I'm making life-changing money. If this was me back in 2018, my God. But anyway, that's not the point. I make great money, but it doesn't feel like it. And I'm so confused. This economy is so trash. And I don't want to hear anybody talking about, oh, you're living above your means or you're not saving. Saving? Jesus Christ. Gas is almost $5 a gallon. Getting fruit at the grocery store is $8. What did I see for $8 the other day? Was it grapes? It was something. And I was just I ain't never. I just feel like y'all not mad enough. I feel like I am being ripped off. I'm unmarried. I don't have kids. So, of course, there's no benefit to that. We don't get any tax breaks. We don't get nothing. America hates single people without kids. Let's just say that. But seriously, something has got to give. Like, I am so tired. I'm tired of this. How are y'all doing it? I feel like no matter how much money you make, we all just trying to survive right now. Golly.
Hey guys, I just saw someone online say that they know somebody that is charging $1,000 a month to rent a room. A room! Not even a little apartment, a room. And she was, going on about like, what are we gonna do? The economy is crazy. And I just wanted to share one idea because we are living it. And that is to move down with me. Rent your house out if you have one. That's what we did. And we got this apartment. And so that helped offset our costs. Now, believe it or not, this apartment costs more than our mortgage because we got it in 2019. But it's helped immensely. So now we can put food on the table and we can save for a better future because we're going to build on our land eventually. And yeah, that's the whole point of being here. This is a stepping stone to where we want to get to.
I've been so embarrassed to say this, but somebody said it was the age of disclosure and that more people should disclose about how they're doing financially as Americans. So let's just be honest. I work 40 hours a week. I can't afford an apartment. I physically can't afford an apartment. On paper, I can afford it, but after taxes and everything, it would be a strain. But I also can't afford to live in hotel rooms because hotel rooms have gotten way more expensive and they're about the same price as a high dollar apartment. So I've been trying to do that. I am like $30,000 to $40,000 in financial student loan debt because I was trying to get my bachelor's degree to fix my life. Unfortunately, the government decided that a psychology degree wasn't worth it, and so my grant was taken and I don't qualify for student loans anymore because they say that my income to whatever ratio far outweighs how much it would cost to pay back my student loans. So I'm stuck in a dead-end job trying to make it happen. I can't qualify to get an apartment because my credit is bad from when I had a mental breakdown and I quit my job and I had to use my credit cards in order to pay for everything. Then I'm homeless. I am living in hotel rooms or living in my car sometimes if I can't afford a hotel room because I'm trying to pay back all of the stuff on my credit for an apartment that won't even put any of the payments that I make onto my credit. So they use credit as a way in order to qualify you, but they don't actually put any of your payments for you paying your apartment on your credit. It's bad in America. Like, it's very bad in America. I'm blessed to have the job that I have, but I can't physically afford anything. I have been trying my hardest to try to, budget my way out, try to pay back things so that I can afford an apartment. In the meantime, I can barely afford food. I can barely afford to put a tank of gas in there. I used the last of my money to put some gas into my car, because we're expecting some bad weather and I want to be able to at least get somewhere in case it happens. Gas is at like almost $4.50 a gallon. I am struggling so bad. I don't even know how I'm doing this. I'm trying my best to be enthusiastic and to be happy, but I am crying on a regular basis and I feel like I'm drowning. And I don't want to say anything to anybody because I don't want to lose my job because they're firing people for being homeless. So I don't even want to tell them that anything. I've just been holding so many things inside that I can't take this anymore. Like, I just really wanted to say something to somebody because it hurts. It literally manifesting as actual physical pain, how much stress I have no family. My family doesn't give a fuck about me and hasn't for a long time. I was going through the worst time of my life and they just basically told me to get through that shit. I had 2 mental breakdowns back to back, lost my job, lost my benefits, lost my apartment, lost my dog, lost my best friend, lost everything. And nobody gave one singular fuck. And I've been doing all of this shit alone with very, very, very minimum help. Apparently I make too much money to be able to benefit from any of the programs, but I don't make enough money to be able to afford anything. Like, I am eating once a day, if that, in order there. I still go to the gym because it's the only place I can go to charge my phone and to be somewhere without somebody trying to call the cops on me, which has happened a couple of times, just simply just sitting in a parking lot because I didn't have nowhere to go. It's been rough the last couple of months. All I want to do is get my own apartment so that I can feel safe. But that looks like that's not even going to be a possibility anytime soon. And now 2 of the credit cards that I have are actively suing me in court. And so I tried my best to put in some payments in order to stop them from suing me. And the payments are taking pretty much my entire check. So that's what's going on with me. It feels actually good to say all this out loud. It's kind of embarrassing to tell a bunch of strangers, to be perfectly honest, but honestly, it just feels good to get it off my chest.
As much as it hurts me to say this, I think the world as we know it, for most of us, especially people my age, the world is never going to be the same. And I never saw this coming. I don't know about y'all. In my childhood was amazing. My adult life has been good. I never saw what's going on with this world coming to what it is. And it's very, very painful. But I think a lot of it is people have just lost humanity. They've lost their kindness. And the old adage, be kind or be quiet, is so easy to do. So for the people that don't do it, they just don't want to. And that is a problem. That shows so much about their character. Now, there are times we have to speak up, but for the most part, we should just be kind or be quiet. I'm so sorry that the world is the way it is for my grandkids. It's just very, very hurtful. I don't know. Tell me what you're thinking. I love you. Bye.
You know, I'm not here to compare my situation to anybody else's situation, because at the end of the day, we are all struggling, especially in this economy. And although my situation is not as worse as anybody else's, it still is a struggle. So again, it's not about the comparison, because in this economy, the overwhelming majority of us working class people are struggling. And I am one of the millions of healthcare workers who's living paycheck to paycheck. I want to give clarity on a couple of things. You can make a lot of money in healthcare, but it comes at a cost. I wanted to hop in and be a part of the conversation that Casanova started about truthful disclosure about your finances in this economy. Some of y'all gonna be like, you make good money. I do. But when I look at my check as a healthcare worker, I'm lucky if I get half my check after federal taxes have been taken out, after state taxes have been taken out, after my retirement has been taken out, after all of the shit that they charge me a la carte on my insurance, my vision, my supplemental disability. I barely get a little bit more than half my check. And it's a lot of people in healthcare that make well above minimum wage like I do that are still living paycheck to paycheck. And I'll be very honest. I owe the IRS about $20,000 in back taxes, almost $20,000 in back taxes that I give them a payment for every month. I have credit card debt. I have a car note, and I still have a small balance on my student loans, but it's still debt. I live in DC, and living in DC is not cheap, and I make well above minimum wage. And even though I'm not struggling to pay my rent, and the only reason why I'm not struggling to pay my rent is because I took my time to find something that I knew I could pay without struggling. But I don't live in a luxury apartment. I don't live in no extremely safe, nice, clean neighborhood. The neighborhood that I just moved to is pretty decent. My apartment is more than decent, and my rent is only $12.50 in DC, but Southeast DC. That comes at a cost. And the only reason why I'm saying all this is because with all the stuff that we are being taxed on, the cost of living, it's crazy. And I see why people crash out. Because you got to go to work and you have to put up with all the frustrations of dealing with what you have to deal with at your job. And then when you get your check, the overwhelming majority, if not all of your check, goes to bills, meaning cost of living. And I have definitely made my mistakes when it comes to my financial literacy has not been the best, like most Americans. So to all you motherfuckers that want to get on here and try to be like, oh, you should know better, you should know better. The overwhelming majority of Americans don't have good financial literacy. That's why so many of us are in debt. But that still doesn't mean that the cost of living does not need to be motherfucking addressed. Because I work hard for what I have. Like right now, I got a stack of tickets that I haven't paid because I don't have the money for it right now. Every time I turn around, I get a ticket in the mail. Even is that the cost of living isn't just your rent. It's gas. It's the cost of living. It's the cost that you have to pay if you take public transportation. Insurance is sky high in DC because you don't have a lot of parking spaces in DC. So you have to park on the street and they tax the fuck out of you for it, regardless of if you have a good record or a driving record. And I don't have a bad driving record. I don't. But like I said, I got a stack of tickets that they keep sending me, and the tickets that they sending me ain't $20 or $30. 70, 100, 150. And then if you don't pay the motherfucker in 30 days, they double it. In this fucking economy. And at the end of the day, they still have systems in place to keep you down even when you make good money. So like I say, even though my struggle is not as bad as some people, it still is a struggle. And at the end of the day, our system is broken and it needs to be fixed.
The truth is, this isn't just a temporary setback. The signs point toward a long struggle ahead as we navigate through these tough times. It is essential to stay informed and be prepared for what is to come. The road to recovery may be long and challenging, and we don't know what's ahead, and we must face it together with resilience and awareness. Make sure you stay woke at all times.